Ladies and gentlemen, there is a time for everything. Today, the term of the 4 IEBC commissioners came to an end. Wafula Chebukati, Boya Mulu, Abdi Guliye, and Hussein Marjan Hussein's term at IEBC came to an end. Tomorrow, the 4 gentlemen will not be reporting to IEBC offices. It's an end of an era. Tomorrow, I will do a comprehensive analysis about their departure from IEBC. And you can now understand why these gentlemen would not allow Cherera and the group to stay in office when their term comes to an end. But for now, very briefly, I want us to do an analysis on a brief speech which was given during that press conference by Abdi Guliye. And I'm going to do it this way. He spoke like for 3 or 4 minutes. I'm going to pick a few points he spoke about and then dissect. Because personally, if you ask me, he raised certain issues going back to 2017. Because in this country, we want to make Wafula Chebukati, Boya Mulu, Hussein Marjan Hussein, and Abdi Guliye to be heroes, when we all know that even if you leave the 2022 election and you say 2022 election was the best election in the country, these 4 gentlemen cannot be celebrated because of the 2017 general election. So let us dive in. And before we do that, if you are watching the channel for the first time, please subscribe. To the subscribers, tune in and don't forget to drop your comment and also to give the video thumbs up. Let me play for you the parties talking of irreducible minimum.
I wish to thank God for the 6 years at IEBC. I wish to also thank the people of Kenya for the opportunity to serve them. It's been 6 years full of trials and tribulations. You all remember the irreducible minimums, of which among the staff, I was #1 in the list of the people to go.
No, NASA in 2017 boycotted the rerun. Why? Because they believed very strongly that the elections were stolen. And going for another rerun with the same IEBC, with the same conditions, was not going to work. So NASA came up with 9 demands to IEBC. IEBC refused to implement even a single of those demands. The people IEBC chose to negotiate with NASA were Boya Mulu and Boya Mulu and Abdi Guliye. And that's why Abdi Guliye is still remembering those minimum, irreducible minimum.
Commissioners are meeting the team from NASA plus our technical team to refine and come up with the issues and the solutions to those issues which the commission is already put in place for purpose of this election. And so between today and tomorrow, we shall publish what we have agreed with the NASA team so that we can move on with the major part of giving Kenyans the elections on the 26th of October. And so that meeting is ongoing as we speak. 2 commissioners, our technical team, and a team from NASA are refining what the commission has done and on the issues which are referred to as reducible minimums from NASA team.
That in this meeting, none of the issues that were raised as irreducible minimum for purposes of holding an election within the 60 days required by the Constitution and the Supreme Court from the date of the determination of the election petition on the 1st of September 2017, none of those demands that we made have been met or responded to. And we left on the basis that nothing has been agreed. Nothing is agreed until it is agreed.
The other thing he spoke about is Akombe Saga.
I recall having been deserted midway on my way to Dubai to oversee the printing of the repeat election, presidential election ballot papers. My colleague deserted me midway somewhere.
Which begs the question, why do you think Roselyn Akombe resigned while outside the country? Roselyn Akombe was a key player at IEBC. She knew a lot what was going on. I know when you talk of Akombe, there are people who believe that Akombe is a Luo. Akombe is not a Luo. Roselyn Akombe is not a Luo. She was with Abdi Guliye. She could not even tell Abdi Guliye that she was resigning. But listen to Akombe why she resigned at that time.
Finding that the illegalities and the irregularities committed by the first respondent were of such a substantial nature that no court properly applying its mind to the evidence under the law as well as the administrative arrangements put in place by IEBC can in good conscience declare that they do not matter.
You know, I've been agonizing for months now about my role at the Commission and my effectiveness at the Commission and my safety actually and security. And I reached a decision after visiting 4 counties across the country and seeing my staff. I realized that we are in a difficult situation as a country, preparing for an election in which you have one candidate that has withdrawn, in which you have the Commission not meeting all its obligations and yet not coming out very strongly to say that these are the challenges we are facing in terms of technology. My sense really is that there was a period of time in which we could be able to make meaningful concessions that would have allowed NASA and Jubilee to play on a level playing ground in this election. But that time has lapsed.
The third thing he spoke about was the Building Bridges Initiative process. You know, one of the demands which was placed at during the BBI was that IEBC was going to be disbanded. I don't know why Raila Odinga never piled pressure, because he thought BBI was going to pass. For me, Raila Odinga would have done justice to his supporters by refusing to participate in election which was going to be presided by these 4 rogue commissioners. There was no way Wafula Chebukati was going to grant Raila Odinga fairness. There was no way Abdi Guliye. Forget about Abdi Guliye. There's a gentleman there called Hussein Marjan Hussein, a real crook at IBC. There was no way the gentlemen were going to allow Raila Odinga to go there was no way these 4 commissioners were going to allow Raila Odinga to be declared the president, even if he won. So Raila Odinga committed crimes, and sometimes I really feel very bad, because one thing he ought to have done was to insist that there was no election he was going to participate in if Wafula Chebukati and this group were going to preside over. This team, from the onset, knew what they were doing. There is no way IBC could have conducted election knowing so well that we are going to have Form 41A, and then they are printing duplicate copy of that form, and that duplicate copy cannot even be accounted for. Who covered for those costs? And who will pay the cost of printing the extra copy? That was enough reason. And of course, as usual, they ignored. I spoke about IBC on this platform until I got tired. Abdi Guliye also spoke about the Bomas Drama, the choir. Of course, we all witnessed what happened at Bomas. Bomas was chaotic, a scene which should not be repeated in this country when we go for another election, whether it's a church election, whether it's a political election. But who procured that choir at IEBC? What was the role of that particular choir? Who were members of that choir? Who granted them access to Bomas? Is it possible that these guys sneaked crooks as part of this choir who ended up doing whatever they were doing? And what was their mission? What was the mission of this choir? Because they're now getting praised. The fifth thing he talked about is that they had to hide. They went to Siberia. The three of them. Which begs the question, why were they hiding? If they knew that elections had we had done a good job, we have declared a new president, he's now in charge, why were they hiding, the three of them? Why do you think the three were hiding? And who secured their safe exit from Bomas? Because these were three commissioners and they left Bomas, and they are saying that they left Bomas on no. Who secured their safe exit? And what has caught my attention is that Abdi Guliye could speak of all other issues, but the main incident which took place at IEBC, he's not talking about. The murder of Chris Msando. He spoke about everything. Who eliminated Chris Msando? And for what purpose? And why is Guliye not willing to talk about that? Because of all these things he spoke about, irreducible minimums, Akombe resigning, the BBI, the drama at Bomas, Siberia, this IEBC of Wafula Chebukati will be remembered by the death of Chris Msando. Chris Msando was keen on delivering free and fair election. Chris was so close to Roslyn Akombe. In fact, Roslyn Akombe left the country after the death of Chris Msando. So why is Boya Mulu not talking about Msando? Tukutane kesho wana.
You also recall the clean slate slogan in the BBI, clean slate meaning clearing the entire IEBC commission. Of course, it didn't come to pass. You recall the Bomas Drama, and I wish to thank the Bomas choir. Even when objects were flying left, right, center, some of those objects actually injured us physically. The choir kept on singing. I wish to thank them for that. After the Bomas announcement of the results, I recall going into Siberia in my own country together with Commissioner Molu and CEO Marjan. We went into hiding. We had to put off our phones, leave them in Bomas, send away our security, and we rode in Anoa to a unknown location. Our only contact to Kenya and the world was the television, just to check whether you were killing each other or you were celebrating. And after 3 days of hiding, we realized Kenyans had moved on. And we said we can no longer hide. So those are all the trials, just part of them. We even had personal tragedies Some of us had miserable times inflicted on ourselves, our families, our children. But we surmounted all those trials and tribulations through courage, dedication, and devotion to God. We upheld our oath of office and the rule of law at all times. As I leave office, I am satisfied that I did my best for my country and my people. I leave IEBC stronger and better than I found it. And as I leave, I have no apologies to make to anybody. I simply did my work in accordance with my oath of office that I took in January of 2017. And inevitably, we have to be replaced. And my word of advice to those who will be bearing the